I want to say as soon as I got off work, I started hearing these stories, and pretty much the activists. Um, I know him as like an influencer, Charlie
Mhm.
Kirk. He was shot in the neck today, and it was pretty graphic. I saw the video. I'm not gonna play the video because it was that wild. Dude was just sitting down, doing what he does, talking to the masses, preaching his truth,
Right.
and some dude sniped him.
So wait, okay, so I don't really know much about Charlie Kirk,
Okay,
but
so
from my understanding, he's right winged, right? And does he have extreme like
no.
like
So
views, or is he like
Charlie Kirk, right? I want to play a video from him on YouTube. So Charlie Kirk, man, he typically what he does is he tries to make people realize common sense. A lot of times he would. So what he does, he would go to colleges and be like, "There's only two genders." Uh,
right?
he would, kind of like argue with people, try to get their understanding and try to make them understand what the hell they're saying.
Okay.
Let me see. So here's one of his videos. I'll show this real quick.
And today I want to point you to their podcast. It's called Culture and Christianity, the Alan Jackson Podcast. What makes it unique is Pastor Alan's biblical perspective. He takes the truth from the Bible and applies it to issues that we're facing today: gender confusion, abortion, immigration, Doge, Trump, and the White House, issues in the
That's pretty much
church.
his topics.
He doesn't just discuss the problems.
Let's just go.
Let's get down to the core of it, which is that in San Diego, are the private schools or the public schools more desirable?
It's kind of complicated because we have charter schools that are public, like we have like High Tech
But
High. We have
people pay money to go to private school, right? For a reason. So what is our perspective? The money should follow the child. You should have school choice. You should be able to go to whatever the school of your choosing, and it works super well.
But the good private schools that you talk about these ones in Chicago, cherry pick data. When we're talking about San Diego, they cost about $40,000 a year.
It's not cherry pick data.
It is cherry pick data. Talking about a single example of a Catholic school that's publicly funded or funded by donors.
There's hundreds of these examples.
Okay,
right?
hundreds of these examples, but the reality is that the majority of them, you have to pay an exorbitant amount of money in order to get into them.
Right. So but then what per pupil in San Diego? What do you think they charge per student in the public school? Anywhere between $25,000 to $35,000.
I have no idea, and I don't think that it has anything to do with the debate we're having.
No, it has everything to do with it.
So that's basically what he does. That's his content. He pretty much like has debates with a lot of students, a lot of so-called left wingers, liberals, people that just have like that woke mindset. And when I say woke kind of got out of hand lately. Woke used to be like, okay, like I'm knowledgeable I'm illuminated, kind of like Illuminati, like I know some shit.
Right.
Woke used to be, and now woke is just like anti-government, anti this, anti that, or same sex. Which I don't really have no problem with it. You're provocative, but a lot of these woke people has adopted these agendas that are pretty much tearing the image apart of what it is to be American. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he's one of those guys. He's not like really like I wouldn't call him like an activist or a right winger or anything like that. I would just say he's a realist. Like he's a real guy. He has real debates with people, and he probably should have had security.
Yeah.
Should have had better security. But who would have thought somebody shoot him? You know what I mean? Like, guy's harmless. All he does is speak the truth. Like, now a lot of shit that he says about the whole, trans, gay and all that stuff. A lot of the things he say rub those people the wrong way. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of things he say rub the people the wrong way, but he's not saying anything that's not scientific, if that makes sense.
It's just controversial.
It's controversial, but it's only controversial because they have that mindset of this is my reality. You got to live in my reality.
Right.
I don't have to accept your reality just because you made this up.
Yeah, because there's three versions, right? It's your truth, my truth, and the truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so
he speaks the truth.
Okay, so do you? Before you play the video or continue on, So are you saying you agree with do you agree with everything he speaks on, or is it some things that you agree with and
No,
like
I would
things
say
that you disagree with?
I would say
Yeah, that's good.
I agree with everything he says. I mean,
Okay.
this guy went toe to toe with like black people when it came to the whole like violent situation, black on black crime and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Women, he went toe to toe with the Hispanics when they was going through the whole um situation about you're on mute.
No, my bad.
Yeah, so he went toe to toe with like the Hispanics when they were trying to like when ICE was trying to go into people's homes and shit and rip them out and stuff like that. He went toe to toe with all these different people. Now, everything he says, I agree with it in its totality. I just know that what he says offends people. I see it.
Does he?
I see it as a realist because I'm a realist. I'm a person. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, this is the way I see it, and it's reality. I'm not gonna live in some imaginary place, that people make up. No, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
So
wait. Going back to the ICE thing, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I actually have like a conflicting. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say it's conflicting, but I'm kind of like torn or a little emotional about it, right? Just recently, I don't know if it's true or not. I should probably do my research, but apparently it's gonna get passed, or it is passed to fruition that ICE agents can detain anyone who speaks Spanish under the assumption that they may be illegal. You see what I mean? Like, does that sound right to you?
No, it don't sound right. I
Now
don't think that sounds realistic, man. Because the country, America, the second most spoken language in America is Spanish.
it's not, yeah. So my thing is like, clearly I haven't done any research on it. Just seen a few posts here and there, some from a few people that I actually trust when it comes to matters like this. But if something like that was passed or if it was authorized, that is kind of fucked up, in my opinion.
No, yeah, that is definitely fucked up. I don't believe in discrimination at all. Like, especially with people that speak Spanish. Like, I think it's wonderful if you speak Spanish. Like,
yeah,
it's the second largest language other than English spoken in America. And actually, there are certain areas where you go to where they just strictly speak Spanish. It's my hometown, like Houston. Like, there's places where you go to, like it's Spanish before English. So yeah, that would be insane if they do that, man. That I don't think is necessary because I feel like they already know technology is good enough to know where these people are located. You just gotta go get them, obviously. But nah, man, I don't think that would solve anything.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, I don't think it's realistic either. I don't know. Some people be stretching the truth a little bit,
But even though he speaks about controversial topics and he has, opinions and he speaks facts for the most part, right? Or I'm assuming more times than likely. I don't really watch any of his content or like his body of work, but I don't think that warrant him like getting shot. You know what I mean? Especially in a place like Utah, of all places to get shot, you got shot in Utah. Like,
yeah, Utah's like a happy place.
Like, isn't it like Mormon heavy out there?
Like, man, the nicest white people you ever meet.
Yeah, like, what are we doing?
I mean,
I could be wrong, but like maybe Utah has like what if it's like one of those sleepers where they got like extreme like gang culture out there.
Yeah. I think they're just like all happy people there. I mean, I know Barco, he lived in Utah for a long time and he just said he just loved it. Like, it was just happy. Well, he's polygamous, so of course he loved it, but it's just one of those things where like you wouldn't expect it there. It just seems planned. You know what I mean? It seems planned out. It's like, okay, like they've been watching this guy for a long time and they're like, okay, all right, people are starting to believe him. Let's take him out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was like,
Then you're trying to make it seem like it's a conspiracy.
am I wrong?
That's what you think.
Oh.
I think that maybe someone
You don't
was
think you don't think politicians conspire?
Oh, 100%. I believe that.
All right then.
But in this specific case, right, regardless of whether or not the mainstream media puts out the facts or not, because logically thinking, right, he's not the only political right-wing figure, right? He may, to my understanding, like even if he is large or he's like a step above the others,
yeah,
realistically, like, what would it do just taking him out? You know, or is this like, or do you think this is some type of strategic plan to just simultaneously or like sequentially take out people who are right wing, who speak on these controversial topics?
He's an Andrew Tate.
Okay.
So you know how they took out Andrew Tate? They didn't really take him out, but they tried to.
Right.
They sent him to prison. They did all these things to take out Andrew Tate.
Okay.
Charlie Kirk, same thing. He's borderline on the same level as Andrew Tate when it comes to some of these topics. So Charlie Kirk, like, he always backed Donald Trump. He's always been like a person that's going to agree with Donald Trump and his policies and everything like that. People hated it. So, but at the same time, like, you can't really like blame a guy for having his own opinion. I think where he kind of like messed up is he was too close, as you can see when I share this. He's too close to everybody. You know what I mean? He's like you and I, basically, but a little bit more popular. He's a podcaster. He's amongst the people, and he's talking to the people. He's trying to get them to understand their own thoughts. I don't know if you're familiar with Socrates. Are you familiar with Socrates?
Not like enough to like intelligently quote it.
Yeah, so Socrates, he's a famous philosopher back in Greece.
Okay.
He went to places like Egypt and like all these different places to like learn things and stuff like that. And he was a philosopher, and all he would do is ask people questions to get them to understand their own way of thinking.
That's not that far.
It's called the Socratic method. It's like keep asking you questions so you
learn from.
Yeah, so you learn from them, and then you kind of ask more questions to get their actual full understanding.
Yeah.
You keep asking why. So, you know, like, doing things like that pisses a lot of people off. People hated Socrates. They put him in jail. They put him in prison. They tried to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, back then, violence was, you know, evident. Like, it was permanent. You piss the wrong person off, they'll kill you. It is what it is. So I think this is like one of those examples, like Charlie Kirk. He was a guy that would ask people things. He would use the Socratic method, and it will piss a lot of people off. And the thing is, they're only pissed off because not 90% of the time he was right. You know, there's a chance that he was right about what he was saying, and they just didn't want him to be right. So it was just one of those things, man. Like, you really can't. You really can't be too out there unless you're heavily guarded and armed.
Right. You know? Mm-hmm.
So, like, you know, like, I don't think that he should have been out in the open like that without security, because he's well known. Like, you're not gonna see like Drake pull up to an event like that without people here, people in this building, people over there, people here, security in front looking around. You know what I mean? Like,
service type, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you gotta make sure.
Charlottesville is not that far from me, actually.
Huh?
I've been there a few times. I'm responding to some TikTok comments.
Yeah. But yeah, the thing is, bro, is just it's not smart to not be guarded. You know what I mean?
So you think this was a planned hit?
Yeah, I definitely think it was a planned hit, bro. This had to be a planned hit, man. No one. Oh, Trump just ordered half mast for Charlie Kirk.
Hold on. Half mask for Charlie Kirk.
That's what Fox News said.
Come on. I'm not like, okay, maybe I'm hating just a little bit, but like, come on. I get it. I get it, right? You know, show some respect and recognition. I think he was doing a lot of good work, if that's the case. Yeah. Nova. Yeah.
He was doing good work.
Yeah. Okay, so you can't just throw something out there and not like break it down. We need like an analysis of what. So like, let's okay.
I don't want to break it down too much. People don't think I'm in the CIA and shit like that. But
so you feel like you got it like figured out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm to an extent, not like down to detail, but let's just say this: he was a guy that told the truth. People didn't like the fact that he told the truth, and the people were starting to believe the things that he was saying, and the things that he was saying goes against the agenda of the people who want to control you. So if it goes against the agenda of the people that want to control you, and you're having people come to their own understanding in their own mind and start to think like, oh shit, like why do I think that way? Let me, you know what he said actually made sense. Let me just dial it back and rethink my life. You know what I mean? If he started to change people and change the hearts and minds of the people, just like kind of like how Andrew Tate did, he changed the hearts and minds of all the people that were like, 25 and under, all the young men. And once you start to change the hearts and minds of the young men, you now have more control than the people that are in control of everyone. So genuinely what happens is they take those people out. He just happened to get shot. Andrew Tate, like I said, heavily armed, a lot of people were not going to run up on Andrew Tate. He has way too many bodyguards. He's protected. He has a gated house.
Essentially, yeah.
So they really couldn't take him out. But if you look back in history, Martin Luther King, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Former President JFK, Gandhi, like all these people were taken out. All these people were taken out because they started to develop and have the understanding of the young people who were up and coming, 25 and under. They started to change the hearts and minds of the younger people. And then once you start to change the hearts and minds of the younger people, they have to take you out because you're controlling. You're in control. They're more believing in you.
You're gonna have a little more influence.
They have a little bit more influence on dude. Like imagine if like people like Drake, Casanat, all these people, if they started using their influence to bring people together to rise against certain things, right? They'll probably take them out. More than likely, they'll take them out. If people have that mass influence, yes, they will do whatever's in their power to take those people out because they want control. So that's why you have to be in control of your own mind, essentially, and you have to let people wake up and come to their own understanding. Because if you try to be like this guy, where he goes above and beyond and asks questions, uses the Socratic method, oh yeah, they got you.
So who do you think is going to be next?
Who I think is going to be next?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think this scares people enough. I think this scares people.
Honestly, I don't think this is one of those cases where, people are going to turn the other cheek or shut up and color, because situations like this have been happening for a very long time, obviously. But I think with the evolution of technology and how extreme people are getting nowadays, realistically, if this is what you think it is, they probably just martyred him and created more individuals that want to stand up to this level of tyranny that you're speaking of.
No, he's gonna go down as a martyr. He's gonna go down as a martyr. However, this fear has been struck into the masses. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like that next young 22-year-old Burkina Faso,
right?
You know what I mean? That next young activist is gonna think twice, or he's gonna be heavily security, heavily armed, You know what I mean? He's gonna protect himself in a way that okay, like these people will actually kill me.
I mean, but realistically, because if you're speaking on controversial topics, especially on the level that he was actually, how many was he like big on? What was his main platform?
His main platform was YouTube.
How many followers did he or subscribers did he have? You said 3.9.
Almost 4 million subscribers on YouTube.
Okay, so here's my thing, right? Before you even get that big, you need, like, I would think a reasonable, logical person will understand that, hey, you know, I am getting ready to step into the public and speak about controversial, emotional topics that have put other people before me in precarious situations. I'm pretty sure that he knew beforehand that, you know, danger could be lurking around the corner, or he could be getting attacked in the worst ways possible for a man and things of that nature. So I don't necessarily think it is going to deter people from stepping up to the plate, because you need to have that understanding before you even speak on things of that nature.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is true. There's always haters, but sometimes you need haters.
Look at Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah. Okay, that Nipsey Hussle was a prime example, but I don't think that was because he was doing anything controversial, right?
Yes, he was.
Well,
he was exposing all of the medical industry using Dr. Sebi, saying Dr. Sebi's ways of medical, the way to cure yourself is in Dr. Sebi's book, all natural resources and things of that nature. He was exposing those secrets. That was Nipsey Hussle was doing that right before he got shot. You know what I'm saying? Now, could he have just been killed by a hood nigga? Probably. Maybe
they just added 2 and 2 together, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean. A lot of times they would use the culture and the stereotypes,
right,
to cover up. But realistically, Nipsey Hussle, when you listen to his music, I used to listen to Nipsey Hussle a lot, and not because it was some gangster shit. It was just like some eye-opening, awakening shit. Like it was like, damn, this is motivate. This is getting me through my darkest times.
Or maybe they didn't feel threatened. They were probably just emotional. You know, like emotional men who were triggered. I'm assuming it was a guy who shot him.
And those, but you don't know if those people were being used. A lot of times those people were being used. It could be a guy. A lot of times it'll be like a guy that meets another guy, like, hey man, I got a job for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I already know like your mother's hospital bills is stacking up. I already know all this stuff is going on, and I already know you hate this guy. So,
you know, just put 2 and 2 together.
Just put 2 and 2 together, man. I'm telling you, like all it takes is the right motivation, because there's haters everywhere. Oh, especially in your own hood. That's the most haters you're gonna have. But
it's the people closest to you that don't want to see you succeed.
It's the people closest to you, that those are the ones that's really after you.
Yeah.
Like that. So I say this, man, like I'm not saying it's a hit job, but I'm saying things happen for a reason.
Right.
Things happen for a reason. It's not just an accident, or it's not just one person's motive. No. That was planned. That's too much pressure for one person to want to plan and do something like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You're gonna do an assassination attempt. That's too much for one person to think about. How to plan, how to do it, when is he gonna be there? How is he gonna be there? Where am I gonna where can I sit? Where can I set up where I can't be seen? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. So okay. All right, so I get where you're coming from, right? Mm-hmm. Wholeheartedly, right? And I respect your opinion. But I just honestly believe that he just triggered the wrong person at the wrong time, and due to his lack of security, you know, they were able to get to him. I just feel like this this was probably a crime of opportunity, realistically.
Think about it, dog.
Maybe premeditated, you know, like this guy was like, hey.
He wasn't just shot, bro. He was sniped.
He was sniped.
He was sniped, bro. He wasn't just shot. You know what I mean?
Like sniped.
He was sniped.
What did they speak of, like the caliber? Or like, is that something we can look up?
When you hear the shot, it sounds like a semi-automatic. I'll just say that.
Okay, so all right. You think it was probably somewhere from like
when I heard the video,
300 meters or something like that?
When I heard the video, I heard pow.
I didn't see the video.
I heard pow, then I heard boop. That's all I'm saying. That means it had to be 3 to 4. It had to be either 200 to 300 yards away.
Okay. So
it had to be a semi-automatic. It had to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just judging off that, I didn't want to look too deep into it.
I'll look for it.
You know,
no.
He just passed away. I really don't like dealing with, you know, spirits and stuff like that. But
it's so funny that not to cut you off, but now I'm actually starting to put 2 and 2 together because there's a number of people on Instagram. They're all like, instead of sending the National Guard to Chicago, send them to Utah.
Honestly though. Honestly though, like
Utah seems like one of those sleepers, bro. Like it's hella gang shit happening out there.
It could be a sleeper cell, but
it could be. You know.
We know. First of all, they definitely gotta go to Chicago, man. I'm sorry, man.
No, for sure.
I know, like people in Chicago, and here's my thing. There's dudes going online saying, "Yo, don't pull up in Chicago." You know, like these dudes got switches on them. I'm like,
thank you, I appreciate that.
I'm trying to figure out what is a switch gonna do to a semi-automatic, like what? And a shield.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just don't think that it's in anyone's best interest to be threatening the military in Chicago. Like, don't go online and show your face and be like, nah, man, you better not pull up. You better not pull up to Chicago. Like, is that the best? Do you want to make yourself a target already before they even get there? You know what I mean?
It's funny you should say that because today I was speaking to one of my friends about it, and we were talking about who would actually win. Would it be like a Chicago militia or the National Guard? And so his opinion was the National Guard would get swept. And I was just like, there's no way the National Guard would get swept by unorganized, emotional
niggas.
You know, like
come on now, bro.
You know what I mean?
What?
So like, and it's like I'm from Chicago, so like I have a little more of an understanding of it to some degree. But you mean to tell me that a Chicago militia, or not even militia, that's probably giving them too much credit, a Chicago gang or multiple gangs or like variants of gangs or little, I guess you could say like cells for a lack of better terms, are going to take out an organized unit that can maneuver,
that has
to some degree, have tactics. They got all the equipment. You know what I mean? They have all the authority. So that means you shoot at them, they're going to annihilate you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like what were they thinking? And I'm looking online. I'm seeing like all these stores, like they're boarding up their stores and shit. They're like making these fences around their stores before the National Guard comes, because they're like, oh shit, these motherfuckers talking about they trying to go to war with the National Guard. Yeah. Look, man, like I just don't think it's in their best interest. I think what I think's gonna happen, I think they're gonna get policed very well to the point where they're gonna obey their curfew or whatever decision they tried to do for them. You know, I think they're gonna be pushed to a point where like, hey man, like, you know what? I was just kidding with all that shit. I was just kidding, bro. I'm not trying to cause any problems. I don't think gangs are gonna come together and try to go against the National Guard.
I really think there's gonna be blood in the street, and what will happen is they'll start a riot or a protest.
Now, if that happens, you know what's gonna happen after that? They're gonna send in the Marines, and that's something that you just don't want. You don't want them to send in the Marines. You don't want, like, National Guard. You know, Good. Yeah, whatever. Good at what they do. We're we're the best military in the world.
Right.
We're good at what we do. National Guard is fine. Yeah, whatever. Marines, you don't want those problems. So if there's any little bit of retaliation, I already know President Trump's gonna send the Marines.
No, I can predict that there will be
He did
level, just a level of retaliation.
it in LA. He did it in Texas. There's Marines at the border still.
Yeah.
They're at the border just patrolling the border. When's the last time you heard about people crossing the border? You know what I mean? Like,
well, people cross the border every day. Like, that's not something that's gonna, halt to a striking 0%. There's always gonna be,
bro,
even if it's like a minute percent of
only borders they're crossing is the ones through the water. They're not
flying,
yeah, they could be flying, whatever. I mean, but even airport security. I don't know if you've been in the airport lately. Well, you haven't came. So I just came back from Colombia, right, bro? If I didn't have my military ID, I probably would have been there for 3-4 hours. They are checking the fuck out of everybody that comes from another country, especially like places like South America, Colombia, whatever. I came back, they're like, yo, dump your shit out, do all that. And I was like, what do you do for a living? I'm like, I'm in the military. Oh, okay. We were all Marine. Yeah, let me go. Everybody else, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, and then I walked out. I see everybody's family and shit. I just felt bad. I put my head down. I was like,
oh, damn. You had to cross all those people.
I had to cross all those people. They had like gifts and shit. They had balloons. They had all kinds of fucking like,
But I think that's pretty interesting that we're even considering using the National Guard when you have the police department, right?
Bro, and here's my thing. Oh, I'll let you finish though.
Well, no, because I get it, right? You want to use different tactics, different forces, and maybe they're trying to protect the police department's image, right? Because it does seem like this could get retaliatory. But
what are they even doing? What is the police even doing at this point?
That's a great point.
Obviously not a good job. And what, like, come on now, like, let's be real. They need a job. The police need a job. Are they really gonna stop all the violence? You know what I mean? Because then don't they feel like they're out of it? They're out of a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, the police need a job, bro. So I don't. This is my opinion, right? This is my opinion. So I'm not gonna say this is fact, but it doesn't seem like the police are trying to get rid of the problem, if that makes sense. But sustain, they want to put a band-aid on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Get all these drive-bys, shootings, and shit like that, and then you catch one guy. You know what I mean? But you let the other guys go. You don't even try to pursue the other guys. Dog, I mean, the National Guard, they don't play by the same rules. And those guys are there temporarily. They're not going to be there forever.
I mean, bruh, what
you gotta say, man?
I'm not saying, like, I know you're making a point, right? But ultimately, brother, like, it could be deeper than that. And if you're into conspiracies and things like that, like, maybe this is one of those like ploys or methods that the government is using to enforce unnecessary rules and regulations. You see what I mean? Like, okay, like if we're using the National Guard and the Marines for like LA and now we're doing Chicago, it's like, what's next? Houston, you know what I mean? So we're pretty much, and then what's next? New York. So we're going to take out like all the major cities and have soldiers posted up and enforcing things of that nature, right?
Bro, so they like, do it in other countries.
I get that, right? But we're not
what?
You know what I mean? This is the United States.
Bro, all right. So when I go to Colombia, right?
That's similar to saying, oh, since guns are banned in England and like Canada, we should do the same thing.
No, I'm not saying that. Not at all. But I do think it's a goddamn problem when a school gets shot up. You know what? You know what doesn't happen in England and Canada and Colombia? School shootings. I'm not saying ban guns. I'm not saying that. But I do think there needs to be. We need to catch the bad people and mitigate some of this stuff that's going on. You know what I mean? A lot of this stuff that's going on where they're like just terrorizing the city. Like Chicago, come on, man. Chicago's in bad shape, bro. They're in bad shape, dog. People are scared to walk at night. People are scared to walk out past 9 o'clock, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be caught in Chicago past 9 o'clock, unless you on your block. And imagine if you're in the wrong block. If you're on the wrong block, imagine. You might as well just start praying. You know what I mean? Or you might as well give them everything you got. All the clothes on your back, you know what I'm saying? All the money in your pocket, credit card, everything. You might as well tell them the passport to everything so they can start, doing what they do with it. You know what I mean? So, like, is that really the environment that we want our kids to be raised in? School shootings, mass drive-bys, massive shootings, things like this where a podcaster basically or a political activist gets shot in the head. Do we want to raise our children in this culture? I mean, what type of country should allow something like this to happen? You know what I mean? We need to police the streets. When you go to Colombia, right? You'll see every corner in the national city, Bogota, every corner has a loaded with a probably a 30 magazine rifleman.
But that's not a fair comparison because think about it, right? Colombia it used to be known as like the drug capital to some degree. Like,
and who was using
it? It was ran by cartels. It was ran by drug lords, and so they had no stability throughout Colombia with the government. So they had to take those extreme measures. But look at it, like listen to what you're saying now. They're still out there.
Are we not in that predicament?
I wouldn't necessarily say to that extreme, right? Like we have precarious situations, you know what I mean?
A school shooting is a precarious situation?
I think a school shooting is unfortunate.
No, but do you think that's a normal thing in other countries?
No.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. We need to police these streets to the extreme.
But if we're using school shootings for an example, then I think the policies need to change. Like maybe there should be more armed security, or the teachers should be armed to some degree, right? Or maybe better detection and prevention systems could be put in place or just like the overall school system should just get revamped anyways, because some of these cases are because kids are getting bullied and there's nothing the teachers or the staff can do about it, or they're given the wrong advice, or maybe it's a situation where like the bully is getting treated a little bit better than the victim. And so in most cases, right? Like if my son went to school and he was getting bullied and he came back and he was like, oh, I got suspended. It's like, hell no, you're going to go, fuck this dude up. And I'm going to go in there with you. And if anyone has a problem with it, we'll just find a new school after we raise hell. Most people don't have that, that level of bravado or courage to do those kind of things. They're more or less on the lines of like, oh, we should talk it out, or we'll move and transfer schools and, like all that weird shit,
And I get that. However, in reality, the world we live in, there are multiple school shootings a year inside of this country. This is America that we live in. There are multiple school shootings inside of this country. There are multiple mass shootings inside of this country. There are assassinations inside of this country.
There's assassinations in every country.
I understand that, but we're supposed to be, You know what I mean? We're supposed to be America. We're supposed to be America, yet our problems are the same problems in other countries, aside from mass shooting, aside from like school shootings, right? Our problems are the same problems inside of other countries. But other countries are policing. They're taking extreme measures to police their citizens. Obviously, we're not in a predicament like in London where there's no guns. Like, you can't have any guns at all. You can only, over there they just be stabbing each other and shit. That's extreme. We already have too many guns regardless. Like, everybody has a gun in America. You know what I mean? So it's hard to take that away. But right now, we have to take extreme measures. We have to take extreme measures. We have to utilize the National Guard. We have to. Because why not? Why not? We're going to sit here and just let all this chaos continue happening and destroying the country, and we're supposed to raise our kids in this culture? You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
I'm not rocking with it. Like, if I had the choice, if I had the money to just leave right now, I would.
Where would you go?
Anywhere else. I'll go Asia, somewhere where like people are not like doing stuff like this. You know what I mean? Japan, probably.
Okay, Japan's a decent option.
Thailand, I'll go to,
Thailand.
Yeah. Peaceful place. I would rather be in a place where it's way more peaceful. People are not acting in violence.
Well, I think like I understand what you're saying, but I don't think I would trust like a place that was more peaceful than violent, because through violence you enforce peace. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have peace without the ability to inflict or to impose your will upon someone. So there needs to be like a boundary, in the sense that the people, or like, I guess the nation, knows that like, hey, like, if you commit this heinous or grievous action, it will be met with superior force or superior acts of violence. And that's just what I believe. I could be 100% wrong, honestly, but I think like you'll never have a situation where it's it's more peaceful than violent, because you need violence.
Okay, yeah, there's a balance, but there's time and place, and there's also things that shouldn't happen. Children should not be at risk.
I disagree.
Children should not be at risk. Why should I have to be worried about dropping my kid off at school and hoping the best, hoping today their school won't get shot at? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that, but I disagree, because realistically, and you see this in the wild, right? Like predators don't go for the strongest prey. They always go for the weak, the old, the elderly, the young, the elderly. So if thinking like with that mentality, right? If my kid was going to school, I will always try to think of a way to protect my kid and make sure that, he or she was in the best position possible to be safe, not only on their way to school, but in school and on their way out. You see what I mean? And if people thought like that, then they could decrease the chances of their kid being in harm's way. Like, you're never going to eliminate it completely, but you can do your best to decrease it.
Big dog. It shouldn't be that way. That's all I'm saying.
I get that.
You shouldn't have a scenario where you drop your child off in the hands of another entity or adult, whatever.
Right.
And there's a possibility that might be the day that they school gets shot. You should not have to think about that. That is not a normal thing. That is not a normal thing. It doesn't even make sense in 2025 that shit like that happens. We are way too technology advanced. We're way too intuitive, and we're not as violent as we were 100 years ago, or 200, 300, 400, 500 years ago. We're not as violent as we were and animalistic as we were back then.
Right.
This stuff is happening now. There's something wrong. We have to police it. We have to figure out a way to get rid of the bad people. Smoke them out and get rid of them. I'm not saying go to the hood and kill all the ignorant people. I'm not saying that. I'm saying police our streets. Police our streets. Get rid of the bull crap. Get rid of people trying to check people in on a certain block. Get rid of that.
Mm-hmm.
You see people standing outside on the corner or the liquor store or whatever. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. If that stuff leads to other things, if that stuff leads to violence and things of that nature, get rid of it. Take action towards it. Because that's what's holding this country back. All this negative, ignorant bullshit that be going on. And it's not just like a certain culture or certain people, it's everybody. We're not doing the school shootings. We're not doing the mass shootings. You know what I mean? But we are shooting each other. We are killing each other. And a lot of people are afraid to walk out at night. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people are afraid to walk out at night. Yeah. And there was a lot of people that came during the last administration that came into the country. You know what I mean? That just let them in.
Well, we can't just sit here and say that like the spikes in crime or the elevated crime rate is because of immigrants.
No, that's not because. No, I'm not saying it was because of that. I'm not saying it's because of that. I'm saying
it's a factor of that.
So that's a factor, but another factor is we're not policing we're not protecting what we have. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're not protecting what we have, and I sometimes it just feels like the police like they want to. But then they're like, nah, it's too much paperwork. Or they're like, nah, it's not worth it. Or, well, they gotta, some of them be double agents. They're working with the cartel or they're working with the gang members. They're getting fed by the gang members to feed their agenda. Some gang members, kingpins, put their smartest people in those police forces or in the military so they can learn certain tactics and be an inside guy. Certain people do that. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. Like a lot of times, we never know until you know, until that all happens and it blows up in front of your face. And that's what's been happening lately. So, I mean, we just, as a nation, we got to get better, dog. This is supposed to be America. We're supposed to be like the greatest country in the world. You know what I mean? That's what we're supposed to be. But why am I afraid to send my child to a public school off a base? You know what I'm saying? Why am I afraid to do stuff like that? Like I was literally like in fear of doing that. Literally, when my daughter was in freaking summer camp, it scared the shit out of me. That's literally what I thought about multiple times. I'm like, shit, man. Like, what if a motherfucker get crazy and angry or whatever? Ain't shit I can do about it.
And like today's the day,
You know what I mean? Like that's a real fear. I shouldn't feel that way, but it's like it's our reality. I would not feel that in other countries. I wouldn't feel it. Now, there's certain countries here are just as bad as us. I get it. There's certain countries just as bad as us. However, for the most part, a lot of countries do not have to deal with school shootings, man. Killing of the innocent. Probably, a lot of people get snatched up, and I get that. But a lot of people don't deal with like somebody taking an innocent child. Which the schools in Colombia are heavily guarded too. By the military. Dudes with fully loaded rifles on shift. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if it works for them, that was cocaine capital of the world 50, 60 years ago. So you telling me it won't work for us?
Actually, now we're talking about it, and I'm starting to think a little bit. I think the same thing is happening in El Salvador with the mega prison that was built. And
it took one guy to say, I am tired of living like this. And then they just started eliminating people. They just started eliminating. If you showed any signs of that, you were a part of this gang, or if you have any tattoo, you're going to this prison.
Mhm.
and it made them build a prison. You know what I'm saying? They start capturing people. Hey, since you want to act in violence, you going to prison. Like over there, you better not even steal a bottle of soap.
A bottle of soap.
That's how bad like they were cracking down on people over there. They were cracking down on people in El Salvador. So, hey man, if they did it, I think in a sense we got to do it too, man.
I mean, you may be making a point, but I don't know. I don't think we need to go to those extreme measures. Realistically, there's no like cartel, in my opinion, right? It's just my opinion. No cartel or gang that has enough influence, power, and equipment and personnel to take on the United States government. I really don't think that. And so, because of that, I don't think that struggle or imbalance is the same here as it was in Colombia or El Salvador. You see what I mean? Because we have resources, we have the people, to some degree we have the capital to invest in these kind of frontiers. Vice like Colombia didn't have it at a point in time, or El Salvador didn't have it at a point in time, and so of course the cartel or like MS-13 took over, and it was just
how do nations fall? How do nations fall like that?
More likely from within.
All right. Yes. The main reason why the nations fall is when the wealth gap gets too big. So the gap between the wealthy and the rich, once it reaches a certain length, these people on the poor side tend to revolt. And there's more of them than there is of them. That's exactly what happened in Colombia. If you look at it from outside looking in, the wealth gap in Colombia, same thing is going on in Venezuela. The wealth gap in Colombia, the rich were really rich and the poor was really poor, and they were struggling, and they would do anything for a meal. Anything. So what did the rich do? What did one rich, powerful man do? He implemented a system to enrich his citizens. Pablo Escobar. He implemented a system to enrich his citizens. They started the drug cartel. Well, it really started in Chile. Then it came to Colombia. And in Colombia, like, they were the gateway. They were the in-between you getting past the Panama Canal and stuff like that. They controlled all the shipments and everything like that. So you had to get through Colombia for that stuff to operate. So one guy was smart enough to capture that and realize that and learn the systems of trade, the systems of getting planes to fly things back and forth over and over, the systems of finding a double agent to assist them with these things. And at the same time, he enriched his citizens, gave them money, gave them the food to eat, as long as they do the deals that he told them to do. And that's what happens when you have a wealth gap. Because you have a bunch of people who are poor and are desperate to do anything, and you have a bunch of people who are rich. What is America looking like right now? Inflation is going crazy. Look at the gap. Look at the gap between the rich and the poor right now. It's starting to get bigger. The rich are the 1%. They're the top 1% in this country. And the poor, you know what I mean? The other 90, 95%. And you got like, well, not 95%. I would say like 40%. And you got the middle class, which is the bulk. Once that middle class starts to collapse, and then now it's like poor, and you got no middle class. Once you eliminate the middle class, that's when it happens. And that's what it looks like is happening right now.
Interesting.
That's what it looks like is happening. The rate of inflation is increasing at such a rapid rate. People can afford to do the most minimum things. And then the rich, goddamn. Yeah, and then the rich, they got everything they ever wanted. And if they need anything, these people are so desperate, they'll do anything for it. They'll do anything for a bite of a sandwich. You know what I mean?
Mm,
That's what
yeah,
happened.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but
That
it's
if
probably
you
something I need to do my research on.
study history, the main reason why countries fall, it happened in Italy. It happened. I'm telling you, there's a bunch of countries this happened to. It happened in Italy, Persia. It happened in Colombia. The main reasons why countries fall or they get destroyed is because of the wealth gap. People become desperate and they would just do anything.
You might be making a point.
Tell you, man.
There's probably more to it.
Nah, there's more to it. There's definitely more to it. I'm just saying that's just the main idea. That's just the one thing you got to look out for. That's why when I'm willing and able, you know what I'm saying? Once we take off with this thing right here, when I'm willing and able, I'm gone. I'm going. I'm not looking back. You ain't gonna find me.
You're gonna go off the grid.
I'm gonna go off the grid. You ain't gonna find me.
So no technology whatsoever.
No,
You're not gonna use credit cards, just cash.
I'm gonna have technology so I can communicate. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna. I'm not having any government know where I'm at.
But you're gonna have like, never mind. I get it. Yeah.
Once things take off for me, I'm good. Hey, I'm out of the picture. I'm out of sight, out of mind. You know what I mean?
So, like, what life skills do you have that's gonna help you with this idea of yours?
Oh man, I can't speak on that, man.
Bro, you can't just say like, "Hey, I know how to fish. I can hunt a little bit. You know, I'm crafty.
Yeah, I know how to fish.
Or whatever. You know what I mean?
I know how to fish. Hunting. I mean, that's in nature. You know, like hunting. I know how to shoot a deer. Have I done it? No, I've never actually captured a deer. No, I've never. Have I shot at one? Yes, but never actually did it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that wherever I go, I'm gonna live off the land. You know what I mean?
No, I know
I'm
what you
off
mean.
grid. I'm off grid, as in like I'm not in the city. I'm detached.
Yeah.
I'm detached. I'm off somewhere where, hey man, you gotta really figure out where I'm at. While all this chaos is going on, whatever, whatnot. I'm focused in my area, in my spot, where on very select few people know where I'm at, and those people are either family or friends, close friends. Yeah, man.
I can get that. You know, I can't say I haven't thought of it myself.
I know you thought of it because
it's crossed my mind. Yeah, it's crossed my mind.
What's going on? I know for a fact, man. Like I know you feel it too. I know you feel like something's bound to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Survival nigga. Marco.
Hey, bro's funny. Yeah. Well, honestly, I think war's gonna break out for sure. I'm not sure if it's gonna be to the scale of like World War III or anything like that. It could possibly, but I think people are becoming more extreme, right? In some cases, rightfully so. In other cases, it's just like, hey, we're a little too emotional about these topics, or a little too sensitive. And so there's probably going to be riots and things like that breaking out. Maybe not if war does break out, because at some point we're going to have to unify under one banner. You see what I mean? But I don't think, like, I try my best not to be like a conspiracy theorist and like try to link too many things together. It's just
sometimes, yeah.
I think right now we're in a low. And maybe in like the next 5 years, we're going to be in a high, and then it's just
wow, man. We're outside of Venezuela. We're right outside of Venezuela. How are we in the low, man? We're there. You know what I mean? Like, we're not far from war. Like we're like no shit there, dog. Like we're just waiting. Like if the wrong person twitches the wrong way, like someone's getting shot. You know what I mean? Like it's not. If the wrong person does the wrong thing at the wrong time, it's gonna happen.
Well, no, 9 times out of 10, that is going to happen. Like it's just kind of how people are. They're always gonna challenge authority. They're always gonna test you or try to push the boundary one step closer until it's too late.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I don't know. I tend to think a little more optimistic though.
Yeah, I mean, I want to be optimistic, but I see what's going on, and it's not looking good, man. It's not. The best thing for us to do is to come together. Save the big video.
Yeah, heroes trimming.
Save.
Yeah, did you see that post? Oh, this is crazy. Did you see that? That was a clip of a witch hunt, and it clipped in like, "Oh, burn the witch," and she was like, "Oh, I know a spell to summon the big booty Latinas," and they're like, "Hey, save the witch."
I remember you talking about save the witch.
Save it.
Yeah, I remember.
They
flipped it. I was like, "Oh, save the witch."
Yo, Reggie is obsessed with Latinas. There's something that will never escape me because of you, bro. Like, I find myself just at random times saying, Latina, Latina. I made a whole song out of it. Latina, Latina.
I just don't remember saying that the first time. I just remember you saying it. I was like, why are you saying that?
I said that?
I feel like you came up with the slogan. I was like, what is that slogan supposed to mean? You know what I mean? Like, you came up with the slogan. I'm like, why does it say Latina, Latina? Why did it say that?
I'm pretty sure you said that.
I don't remember. If I did come up with that, yeah, that was on me. Yeah, I definitely was probably.
It does sound like something that would come out of my mouth, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, I was like, where did he get that from? Was I saying shit like that? I was really confused.
Maybe it was like one of those things where we both kind of said it at the same time.
Yeah.
But because you're like on your crusade right now, it just kind of stuck and like it automatically got like attached to you.
I am not on my crusade. This is the real deal. I don't like American women. I do like women. I do like foreign women. I like Latinas the most. But either way, I already got a girl, so I'm already settled down. So sorry. I'm already settled down anyway. So my obsession with Latinas is no longer because I already have one. The one, you know what I mean? Gosh damn, what the fuck's wrong with me? Ugh. But yeah, man, I guess we get into there, man, because we had a good talk. I definitely feel like we came to an understanding of each other, and
Latina.
And I hope for the best, man. Hey, man, National Guard, save all the Latinas in Chicago, man. Save all Latinas, man. Don't hurt the Latinas, man. Don't hurt the Latinas, man.
No, this is good. This is good.
Yeah, we don't want no ghetto bitches, though. We don't want them. Get rid of them. Ugh.
I don't know. I like a little ghetto chick from time to time,
No, man, that's just played out, bro. I don't even know why people made that popular, like to entertain ghetto bitches. Like, I don't.
It's the same way like good girls want like a thug.
No,
it's fun.
It's not the same. It's not the same, bro. Women are attractive to a little bit of a masculine aggression. A lot of ghetto females kind of give that masculine aggression.
The ones with blue hair.
No, I'm being honest. Now, if they're ghetto and very feminine, okay, like I get it. Like there's potential there,
right?
Possibly, if they're ghetto and feminine, but if they're just ghetto and masculine, it's a fucking turn off. But yeah, we gonna end it there, man. I'm talking too damn much, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. We had to like 5-6 people at a time sometime in here. You know what I mean? This is America, though. This is America. So hopefully y'all are tuning in from America. This is the Too Easy Playbook. Bro over here, Cookies. This is CP, and we out.
Bro, just say brand. Just say brand.